Welcome, everyone. This is our Zinzino Science Insights, and this is December 9th, 2025, and we're so glad that you can join us today. And if this is your first time with us, we do this talk every week on Tuesdays, noon time in Pacific time. And I'm Dr. Natalie Kather, and I'm a medical doctor, and I had boarded in family medicine and anti-aging medicine. And in my clinic, I practiced integrative medicine, hormone balancing, and of course, metabolic medicine. And I'm so delighted to be here with my biochemist husband, who has his chemist tree
Oh, chemistry. Oh,
shirt on. Brilliant. He's been a nutritional biochemist and in the nutrition industry for over 50 years and has served as chief science officer of four different nutritional companies. And we're honored that almost 2 years ago, we were invited to join the Zinzino Scientific Advisory Board and, of course, become Zinzino independent partners. And it's just been a joyful experience. And we're happy to share with you the things that we're learning about the science behind the products and the benefits that we get from using them.
yeah. So a lot of what we do is basically uh, help you understand the miracle that you are, how the human body works, and how to make it work better and last longer. And I think those are things that everyone's interested in. If you're looking for ways to build your business or specifically relating to the business side of Zinzino, this is not the place. But we're happy to support you in your efforts to understand what an amazing opportunity this is, because Zinzino is doing things that other companies don't do. Primarily, they are devoted to moving the ball down the field. And by that, I mean the field of nutrition, science, and genomics, artificial intelligence, and all the technologies that are available to us today. Zinzino is on the forefront of that effort. The field, if you will, is rather muddy, as you know. The internet is a swamp of confusion, so you have to have a company that is devoted to maintaining scientific integrity as they move the ball down the field. And scientific integrity requires what? Scientists who are credentialed and who have the training and the experience and expertise to do what you want them to do, which is to what? Discovery, delivering products that produce benefits that you can see, feel, and objectively measure. All of this is part of the Zinzino excitement and why the company is growing so fast.
It's true.
So,
And this is a great place to bring customers and friends and family. Zinzino, of course, their flagship product is the balance test, which looks at 11 different 11 different fatty acids in your cell membrane, including the essential fatty acids, omega-6s and omega-3s, and gives you an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which is really important when it comes to function of every cell of your body. Too much omega-6 and it makes it difficult for the cells to function, to get nutrients in and waste products out, and it slows down their ability to produce energy.
yeah. So imagine, I'm sorry, imagine if you're new, imagine the ability to take a simple test with a finger stick. You don't have to go to the doctor, have a needle stuck in your arm. This is something you can do at home very easily, quickly. And then you're going to actually get information about the function of every cell in your body. Now, wouldn't everybody want to know that? Because as Natalie was talking about the cell membrane literally controls all of the activity of that cell. Everything moving into that cell and everything moving out of that cell. How that cell communicates to other cells around it. All of that is relying on the specific function and composition of the cell membrane.
And then Zinzino, they have helped with the assistance of Vitas Analytical Services. They have identified that this is a global problem of having too much omega-6 fats and not enough omega-3 fatty acids. But supplementing fish oil, purified fish oil by itself is not enough. And they have products, balance products, that are very unique in that olive polyphenols are attached to those EPA, DHA, omega-3 fatty acids, which then escort those fats into the cell membrane. And it's a much more effective way of getting into balance. And that safe zone that we want of omega-6 fats to omega-3 fats is 3 to 1 or better. My first test, taking fish oil, 6.7 to 1. But my second test, 1.7 to 1.
Ding, ding, ding,
And
ding,
boy, do
ding.
I feel better. So, let's talk about today's topic
Uh,
because Zinzino has a lot more than their flagship products of balance, of the balance test and the balance oils and the capsules. They have some really fun drinks.
hmm.
And so I want to tell you about a new mocktail called Phyco-Gold. And so let me show you my little video I made here.
Ah,
What happens is we create this beautiful drink, which, as you can
multicolored.
see, it's layered. And we're going to talk a little bit why it's layered like
Hmm.
that. On the very bottom, you can see some of the yellow curcuminoids, and then, of course, the green, the combination, and the blue, beautiful phycocyanins, and then water. And of course, you could certainly add something like seltzer water
Hmm.
or ginger ale and take it up a notch.
And so one of the benefits that we're going to be talking about are familiar benefits, and these have to do with what? This. We always come back to this, which is this is what matters to you. You want to learn how your body works, how to make it last longer and work better. You have to understand the forces of damage and repair. You have to understand that the goal here is to improve repair and reduce damage. If you don't, what will happen to you is damage will accumulate, repair will fail, and you will ultimately experience all the damaging forces of this thing called aging. So on the damage side of the seesaw, right? We've gone over this before. I'll say it again. There are basically two major forces, and that is inflammation and oxidative stress. The other forces, of course, are wear and tear and infection, but the ones that we can control the easiest are inflammation and oxidative stress. And when we say oxidative stress, we're talking about the production of these molecules called free radicals. And these are produced as a byproduct of the production of energy within the cells of your body. Your body produces energy, and just like the engine in your car, there is some exhaust that comes out of the tailpipe. In this case, the exhaust are basically unpaired electrons. And those are known as free radicals. And because they are unpaired, they are very damaging. Now, in the past, this wasn't that much of a problem because our diet consisted of a wide range of plants. And this wide range of plants, I mean, the hunting and gathering diet included about 75 species of plants that people consumed on a daily basis. Now imagine that. The average American consumes 11 species of plants in a week. So, because our diet is so bereft of antioxidant nutrients, we then find ourselves in a bit of a problem. I was doing an assistantship at UC Berkeley many years ago, had an opportunity to take a very interesting device that would actually measure ambient free radicals.
Mhm.
These are free radicals literally in the air around us that we are breathing and that are basically exposed to our skin. And I was on Shattuck Avenue in Berkeley with this device as a bus went by. spewing this smoke out of the tailpipe. I held the wand up, and my assistant, looked at that and took down the reading. And then another bus went by, and we did the same thing. And we went back to the lab. And had a discussion with one of the leading researchers in free radical biology, Lester Packer. And we asked him, what do these numbers mean? And Lester Packer basically looked at the numbers and said, well, he did a little calculation. He said, I calculate that compared to your hunting and gathering ancestors, you were just exposed in one afternoon to more free radicals than they experienced in their entire lifetime.
Wow.
So you see the problem here. The problem is that we need to compensate for the free radicals that we are exposed to. You need to compensate for the antioxidants that you're not getting from a hunting and gathering diet. And the easiest way to do that is to drink it and eat it. So,
For sure. Okay.
what's next, Natalie?
All right, so let's jump into our presentation here.
Ah,
All right. All right, Phyco-Gold.
ooh,
Yeah.
I think I'll have a sip right now.
All right. So we're talking about benefits from the sea paired with the land. It's similar to the balance oil story, right?
It
Land
is.
and sea,
Land and sea.
bring the best together. And so this is what turmeric looks like. And the curcumin is extracted from the turmeric.
Yeah,
And so this is the X-Gold product, which also has some black pepper extract added to it. And spirulina grows in the sea.
it does.
But if we just harvest it from the sea, there's a lot of problems.
A lot of
It's
problems.
difficult to control the content of the phycocyanins, difficult to control the
Contamination.
contaminations from heavy metals, plastics, all of that, but also contamination from infections because plants get infections. So we're very fortunate that um, Zinzino has purchased this very modern, futuristic bioreactor system where the spirulina is contained, controlled, so that you can optimize the amount of phycocyanins being made, keeping it the healthiest, giving it the temperature and the light amount that it craves and wants for optimizing growth.
Now, imagine if you've been looking at spirulina over the years, and I know a lot of you have. You've seen companies where it was just skimmed off a lake in Klamath Lake in Oregon, which would turn out to be a terrible idea. And then you've seen things. The next phase was these cement ponds, and you might have seen photos of these cement ponds stretching for football field length areas where they were growing spirulina. And that was good because they were controlling for a number of factors and they could monitor any kind of exposure to toxins, and that was better. What's the next step? The next stage is these bioreactors, and sometimes they're called photobioreactors. Now, what is the photo referring to? It's referring to the control of the frequency of light that they are exposed to. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds really special, and it is. So to be able to literally experiment and to optimize the frequency of light and the duration of that light that this organism is exposed to in order to get the most value out of that, that's how we're able to create the products which we like, which we include not only the spirulina powder, the spirulina tablets, but this wonderful beverage that we're creating right now.
Yeah. Phyco-Gold. All right, why combine phycocyanins and curcumin? Well, both target oxidation and inflammation, which remember, Stephen just told you on the seesaw balance regarding repair and damage, those are the two most damaging forces. And they complement each other. So again, they're friends in
Yeah.
getting the job done. So that way they're optimizing cellular protection, recovery, and of course, long-term tissue resilience. Because each day we make 300 billion new cells, and these products help us create new, healthier cells.
Build a better body.
Yep. So phycocyanins, they are hydrophilic. And when you look in here and look at where they're at, it's loving being in the water. The curcumin is hydrophobic, but we can tell that despite it being hydrophobic, unlike oils, it's denser, so it's at the bottom, thus giving it that beautiful green color. All right. Both neutralize reactive oxygen species, so that we're talking about the rusting process that happens in the body naturally from creating energy.
ROS is another word for a free radical.
Yes, thank you. Because they have different solubilities, loving water, not loving water, they're able to get into different tissues better.
Wonderful.
So when these are studied together, it shows that they have enhanced radical scavenging activity.
Love when you talk that
Yeah,
way.
they're doing an even better job of getting those free radicals. And it's, of course, safe and synergistic. So curcumin, when we look at the particular inflammatory markers that they affect, it downregulates a pro-inflammatory switch known as nuclear factor kappa beta. And it regulates, I'll just say
NRF2.
NRF2. So again, reducing inflammation and cytoprotective antioxidants. And then the phycocyanin,
I'm sorry, let me
go
go
ahead.
back a little bit on NRF2 because this is something which you're probably going to hear about more and more as we learn more about the antioxidant system because your body produces antioxidants. Some of the antioxidants we get from our diet, some of the antioxidants are literally produced, manufactured, synthesized by your body. Why? Because there has to be this constant oxidation and antioxidant activity. It's called redox, REDOX. So you've probably heard that term too. Well, in this redox balance that you have to maintain, the enzymes that you produce, the antioxidant enzymes that you produce, all have to be recycled. And the NRF2 pathway recycles the antioxidants that you're producing yourself.
Thank you.
As my professor used to say, we live in a redox world. You have to maintain homeostasis.
Makes sense. All right. And then phycocyanin, the blue juice.
The blue juice.
Yeah. It reduces tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukin 1 beta, which are inflammatory markers, and it interferes with NF kappa beta activation in immune cells. So it sends a message to the immune cells, hey, don't be so over-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And so together, this is multiple targets of hitting where gene expression of inflammation occur. All right. This is one of my favorites, muscle protection and recovery, because it has been shown in human clinical trials how this plays a role in recovery. And so when we exercise, first we have the damage of doing the exercise, which includes oxidation as well as um, localized inflammation issues. But then there's also a secondary injury of ongoing oxidation if it's not taken care of. So curcumin reduces this exercise-induced muscle damage, lowers soreness, thank goodness, preserves performance after intense or eccentric exercise, which is really important. Um, Especially if you are an elite athlete and competing, you know that you want to keep your performance at its top level. It extends the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory protection, and then thinking about microvascular and connective tissue. So all those little tiny bleeds and tears from lifting really heavy weights, um, uh, repetitive work. Yes, it helps address that. So an important combined effect of not only addressing primary, but also secondary issues related to exercise. And it helps protect the immune system and the nervous system. Yay. Curcumin has antiviral properties to it and balances immune signaling. Again, we live in this world that's about balance and
Yep.
homeostasis. The phycocyanins calms overactive microglia, which are like the macrophages of the brain that are scavenging and cleaning things up. And we don't want it to become overly active. We want to have brain cells. Um, it reduces pro-inflammatory cytokines in the brain, and when that happens, then the synapses function better, brain cells work better, better energy, better mental clarity. So together they form this broader immune neuroprotective phytochemical matrix.
Wow, there's a
Big
sentence for
fancy,
you.
big fancy.
Immune neuroprotective phytochemical matrix. I love it.
Phyco-Gold.
Yeah.
The easy way to say it. All right, so it's a dual antioxidant network. Again, water loving, fat loving, so it can penetrate more tissues because of that. And multiple pathway inflammation control, your muscles, your immune system, your brain, your nerves all love it. And because we have this delivery system in water, it's very bioavailable, stabilized, so true sea and land molecular synergy. And I understand that there are people here that are already drinking Phyco-Gold, mixing it up. Um, and I wonder if anyone would like to comment on the taste or what they've noticed.
Um, yeah, it's Martin Chapel here from London. Um, I I mistook, and because I got the ones in French, I actually was taking double the dose, and and it was actually sort of really hyping me up. But now I take a single one and spread it out over the day.
So
It's a lot better. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so instead of 16 milliliters of the
Well, no, yeah, I
X-Gold
went. Yeah. Yeah,
and
I was
16 of,
taking 8 of each, but
oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah, it's yeah, not for the faint-hearted.
So sounds like you're feeling better at 4 milliliters and 4 milliliters.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Otherwise, yeah. Anyway, that's,
So were
that's
you feeling
good.
just too much energy?
Well, yes, it's sort of yeah, you're knocked sideways actually. Yes, and yeah, but it does help.
Francis has a thought. Thank you. I have a friend who is a coach, and she would like to know what is the best products to use for her students.
Well, depends what kind of coach. If she's a sports coach, that's one thing. If she's a life coach, then we don't know what exactly kind of students she's using.
Whether it's life coach or sports coach, lead with the balance test.
Yes.
Everybody gets tested.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because everyone needs to know what their cellular function is. And so, again, a good point, Natalie, that this is this is something that every man, woman, and child should know, simply because it's the thing that enables you to to basically adjust your seesaw. I like to say to tip the seesaw in your favor. And that is how, again, done by him reducing damage and improving repair, pushing down on damage, pushing up on repair. So that's why it's so important for people to know their cell function.
Yeah, so
So
whether they're being coached for sports to optimize endurance, strength, speed, or they're working with a life coach to optimize their finances or mental clarity or focus or emotional intelligence, having functional cells with good, healthy, in the green all the way around on the balance test is important for all of that. Yeah.
In my work with elite athletes, and I did that for many years, and I would make sure they understood that their opponent was not the other wrestler on the other side of the mat. Their opponent was not the other team. Their opponent was not the other person on the other side of the tennis net. Their opponent, first and foremost, was inflammation. They had to deal with that so that they could effectively deal with their other opponent, which was whoever they were facing on the field or the court. So again, it's once you understand that, and every athlete does understand that. How do I know that? Look in their gym bag, look in their lockers, and you will find painkillers. You'll find anti-inflammatories. And if you don't, they're not a serious athlete. They're not pushing the envelope. If you're working with serious athletes, they're pushing the envelope, which means that they're going to experience inflammation and pain. And what are they taking for that? They're taking drugs that are harming their body, that are destroying the lining of their gut, that are compromising the function of their liver and their kidneys with long-term chronic use of these anti-inflammatory drugs. You have an alternative. That alternative is to get them in balance, keep them in balance, and that will help to optimize their performance on the field or the court.
So we're talking about hitting inflammation at the top of
Yeah.
the biochemistry cascade.
Yeah.
And we've just been talking about important products that help hit inflammation towards the bottom of that cascade.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense to me that this sport coach, make sure everybody's in balance, work on that. But hey, serve some Phyco-Gold,
Yes.
put it in your water bottle.
Instead of Gatorade.
It's refreshing and you're controlling inflammation as you move along. Yeah. Same for the life coach.
Yep.
Great questions. Okay, or thoughts. Any other thoughts? Oh, thank you, Susan. Yes, Susan says, thank you, Martin, for sharing your experience. Blessings to you. So glad you found Zinzino. Thank you, Susan, that you appreciate what we bring as well for information. And we are blessed to have you. Yes, thank you to all who have joined us. Stephen and I spoke with Dag Peterson a few months ago, and he wanted to know what this has been like for us. And I was honest with him. I said, this has been a joyful experience for us. And we're very grateful to be part of this family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Onward to a holiday time with your friends and your families. We wish you the very best. Safe travels if you're traveling. Again, it's here in the Pacific Northwest. It's rainy time, so we're dealing with floods. And so if you're in a flood area, be safe. One of our dear friends was stuck last night behind an avalanche and couldn't get home.
Well, a landslide.
A landslide, yes.
That mud. Yeah.
So again, we wish you the very best, and we look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday.
Yep. You are loved. See you then.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Cheerio. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
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 So much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you look great. Great presentation. Phenomenal.